Hey guys, in this video, you're going to be learning why your mitochondria is so important for your health and 2 things you can do right now to fix it. Okay guys, so you're going to be learning exactly today why your mitochondria is important. Now I don't want to go too much in science and details, I'm going to make it quite simple. First of all, your mitochondria is the powerhouse, the furnace of your body. It creates something known as ATP, which is fuel for your body. But for ATP to be created, you need to have a healthy mitochondria. Now the problem today's time is so many people are eating a sad diet, eating high fructose corn syrup, commercial dairy, lack of sleep, huge amounts of stress, and this is all causing your mitochondria to have rapid mutation, therefore causing all modern day diseases. Now, the 2 things that you're going to focus on today is one thing. The first thing is called the Lipid Bilayer. So think of it as the shield of your mitochondria. We're going to be focusing on that. And the second thing you're going to be focusing on is something called CoQ10, which I'm pretty sure all you guys heard about before. So the first thing is obviously your Lipid Bilayer. Now, Lipid Bilayer is quite simple. The first layer, the heads, they like water. So water, inside is fat. Now, it communicates through pores and ionic channels. But what happens when you're eating or living a lifestyle that is not suited for human biochemistry is these lipid bilayers, which would be like jellyfish, nice and fluid, become rusted. And they fall apart, and therefore your mitochondria mutates and causes you to have disease, chronic fatigue syndrome, type 2 diabetes, etc., etc. So the first thing is eliminating all that garbage foods and going to bed on time. That's the first thing. The second thing is adding foods that have good healthy fats. So your lipid bilayer is predominantly made out of choline. And my personal favorite source of food for choline is raw eggs. Obviously, you want the raw eggs to come from a healthy pasture source. You don't want to be eating those commercial raw eggs. I don't promote that. So first, acquire healthy source of raw eggs. I mean healthy source meaning pasture raised. They're not fed grains or any of that sort. They do the chicken life. They pluck worms, eat this, eat that, and so forth. Now, the choline will create a healthier lipid bilayer for you. That's what choline will do. It's absolutely amazing. Second food group you should be eating is grass-fed liver from beef, from goat, even wild-caught fish liver. Everything is fantastic. Liver has choline. Liver has healthy amounts of fats. That's going to repair your lipid bilayer. So don't be afraid of organ meats. You need them for your biochemistry. The more you stay away from organ meats, the sicker you become. I'm sorry. That's the real fact, guys. Eat your organ meats. I don't care if you can't handle the taste. Figure out a way to eat them. So that's the first mechanism. By repairing your lipid bilayer, you make healthier connections in your mitochondria, meaning the delivery system. Second important thing, guys, is something called CoQ10, or ubiquinol or ubiquinone. Now, why CoQ10 is so important for you guys is it makes ATP. And how it does that is quite simple. CoQ10, which is located right here if you're paying attention, is like a freaking taxi driver. It moves people in and out of the inner membrane of the mitochondria. Sorry, that's inner membrane, within the actual lipid bilayer. It actually takes electrons that you'll get from eating food and transport them this way. Woo! And, fast forward through a bunch of other processes, it'll create ATP. You get that? So CoQ10 is your taxi driver. But once again, through eating a sad diet, high fructose corn syrup, commercial dairy, lack of sleep, etc., 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 you don't have CoQ10. Boom. How do you get CoQ10? Well, it's quite simple. The first thing is obviously food. Well, the most abundant type of food group on the planet for CoQ10 is actually fish. So get yourself some whole fish. I'm not a big fan of eating filet. I like a whole fish. I like to get a whole fish and bake the fish with the bones in, all right? So that's the most nutritionally dense type of way of cooking and getting your nutrients. Nature knows best. Second, well, guess what has CoQ10 even as much as fish? Boom, organ meats. Can you imagine? Oh my God. It's like the universe keeps on hitting us in the head and hello, hello, hello. organ meats, once again, has high amounts of CoQ10. Fish, organ meats, you get that? Finally, you can always go to a supplemental form, which sometimes I do for my clients, and I like to use ubiquinol, not ubiquinone. Remember that ubiquinol, you know, if you're reading the article, it's in there. And that's really good for revamping your levels of CoQ10. Because without CoQ10, that means no taxi driver, that means no electrons are going through your mitochondria to create ATP. Okay guys, so those are 2 things I want you to do. Eat fish, eat organ meats, raw eggs, ditch all the other garbage stuff, get to bed, and that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Click subscribe, leave some comments, and I'll catch you soon.